Okay, next lesson is angles, and we're supposed to measure angles, but I don't have you in front of me, and so we're not going to really measure, but we're going to talk about angles, and it's also 1/5. So, first of all, the first question, what exactly is an angle? What is an angle? And so a lot of kids are like, oh, well, it's like 90 degrees is a right angle, but my question is, what is the actual thing that is an angle? We know what it looks like. And so an angle is actually two rays that start from the same point. And what is that called? It's known as the vertex. So we kind of have a picture here. I can draw it. So that's an angle. That is an angle. We know that. You've studied that for a while. So what's the next thing we're interested in? How do we identify it? How do we name the angle? Well, naming the angle. Okay, well, you might say, we can use a letter. So for example, I might, here's my 3 points. And, let's see, I'm going to label the points. Let's label it A, B, C, and I'm going to construct segments. So I have a triangle, and so you might say, okay, Mr. Adler, this angle up here, that's angle B. So if if it is clear, you can use a letter to represent the angle, but we run into a little problem because let's say, let's say I make this diagram like this, and let's call this, let's label this D. Let's label it D, right? Fine, it's E. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I apologize. Wait, give me a second. I will fix this. Display, undo, display, undo. Perfect. I'm going to highlight these 2 points. Point, construct a segment. Okay, so now the issue is, for example, exactly what is angle C now? A is clear and E is clear, but C is not clear anymore. So you have 2 options. Let's scroll this up. So, in this case, it is not clear what angle C is. So you have 2 options. Either put numbers in. I like doing that. Here's here. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can put numbers in, or what you can do is use 3 letters. Use 3 letters to describe the angle. So how would I describe angle 2? Angle 2, I would say angle is equal to angle ECB. Once again, E and B are points on the rays, but C, the middle letter, is the vertex. How would I describe angle E? How would I describe angle 1? So you'd say, okay, I can write that as angle BEC, or you can write angle CEB. Once again, you use 3 letters, and the middle letter has to be the vertex. No, I'm going to show you the technology why this is important. So we know that the three angles of a triangle equal 180 degrees. We're going to get to that, but I want to tell my geometer sketchpad to measure the angles, and so I have an option here to measure the angle. You can see up there, measure angle, but if I click E and I go up there, it's not going to highlight. So the computer says, no, we need 3 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do B, E, C, measure the angle, and it shows up. How about I do E, B, C, measure the angle, that's EBC, and then the last angle, let's do E, C, B, measure the angle, I'm measuring this, and then what I can do is go to number, calculate, I'm going to do the first angle plus the second angle plus the third angle. What do I get? 180 degrees. But you can see here the 3 ways that they reference the angle. They don't just call it E, B, and C. They're BEC, ECV, and EBC. Once again, the middle letter is the vertex of the angle. Okay. Now let's get to the stuff that we're interested in, which is measuring the angle. I'm sorry. So let's get to the next thing. We're interested in how do you measure an angle? Oh, sorry. Whoops. Let's go back. Let's go back to, I apologize. Geometer Sketchpad. And window. And number 12. Yes. So we are interested in, sorry about that. We're interested in measuring the angle. And so what exactly are we measuring? So some of you are familiar. You go, oh, I know about right angles or straight angles or acute or obtuse. What exactly are we measuring? And the idea is, well, I guess I should have, the idea is you have, well, let's see, you have 2 rays. And the idea is you're measuring the rotation. So imagine the gray pencil is the first ray, right? Which we're going to call, so we have 2 angles. We have the initial ray. Sorry about that. Initial ray. And the other ray was the terminal ray. And the question is, what are we measuring? We're actually measuring the rotation that the terminal ray moves away from the initial ray. It's a rotation. This is what we're measuring. So what are the rotations? Well, we can get a full rotation. Actually, you know what? I wanted to put it up on the screen. So let's get it up here. So let's go to graph. Oh, come on. Sorry. Let's go up here. Let's put the grid. Let's show the rectangular grid. I'm going to, oops, let me move this over. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a circle in there. Okay. Then I'm going to put some rays. I'm going to put a, let's see. I'm going to construct a second. Oops. Sorry. I'm going to construct a segment. This is going to be my initial ray. And then I'm going to construct a terminal ray. Let's construct a segment. And the idea is that the terminal ray, let's animate this point. The terminal ray moves away from the initial ray. Hold on, I'm going to label this. You know what? Sorry guys. Let's see. I'm going to highlight the ray. I'm going to label the segment. I'm going to call that terminal. Terminal ray. And what's happening is the terminal ray is moving away from the initial ray, right? Now, what's happening? It's moving away. It actually comes back. We call that a full rotation. So if we say we have a full rotation, we're going to call that 360 degrees, right? What do you think a half rotation is? What's a half rotation? Is it there yet? If that's 180 degrees, where are we now? Actually, let me stop it. Let's see. Let me move. Whoops. Let's see. What kind of rotation do we have now? Very good. This is a quarter. Whoops. Sorry. This is a quarter rotation. And we're going to call that 90 degrees, which you know is a right angle. And good. Let's pause this. Okay, let's pick up where we left off. So let's just talk about the classification of angles. First of all, we will use the symbol theta to represent the rotation or the measurement of an angle. So the first thing you know about is there's acute, there's a right angle, there's obtuse, and there's something called a straight angle. Now, these are the only ones we're interested in this class. There's something called a reflex angle, but we're not interested in that. An acute is an angle. It's between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. If an angle is a right angle, we say that the angle is equal to 90 degrees. If the angle is obtuse, we say it's greater than 90 and less than 180 degrees. And if the angle is a line, basically, or, technically, two rays that, go in opposite directions, we technically could say that is a 180 degree angle. Okay. Now, a little thing. Let's say that, now once again, the measurement of angle ABC is equal to the measurement of angle DEF, then what can we conclude? That we conclude that angle ABC is congruent to angle DEF. Once again, A equals congruent. The measurement is a number if a number is equal to a number, but an angle is a thing, and things are congruent to other things. Okay. And then the last, stop sharing.